People don't realize how little time is left before the point of no return. Each new natural anomaly shows how quickly we are approaching it. Next, we will show just a small portion of the climatic events that occurred in the week from March 5th to March 11th. USA. On the morning of March 10th, an EF2 tornado struck Seminole County in Florida, with wind speeds exceeding 185 kilometers per hour. The National Weather Service classified this tornado as a rare event for Central Florida, where only 10% of such storms reach EF1 and EF2 strength. The destructive path of the tornado spanned approximately 6.5 kilometers. In the city of Longwood, one house was completely destroyed, while several others sustained significant damage. Debris was scattered everywhere, trees were uprooted, and power lines were damaged. The Fox 35 news studio found itself at the very epicenter of the raging storm. At the moment when the anchor was warning about the approaching danger live on air, the tornado unexpectedly struck the building. Fortunately, the structure of the building withstood the powerful force of the storm, and everyone inside remained unharmed. However, both the witnesses to the event and the viewers were deeply shaken by the suddenness and intensity of the natural disaster, realizing just how quickly and unpredictably a person can find themselves at its epicenter.
Ay, Dios mío santo.
Tropical Cyclone Alfred. According to meteorological forecasts, Cyclone Alfred was expected to dissipate over the ocean, as is typical for cyclones with a similar trajectory. However, on March 4th, it unexpectedly changed direction to the west and moved toward the Australian coastline. 3 days later, it reached the mainland near Brisbane, the largest city by area and the third most populous city in the country. Tropical cyclones rarely penetrate this far south along the eastern coastline of Australia, where densely populated areas are located. The last such occurrence was 50 years ago. Heavy rainfall, storm surges, and strong winds in the coastal areas were triggered by the slow movement of the cyclone several days before it made landfall. In Queensland, the city of Gold Coast and its famous canal system were among the first to suffer. The flood turned city streets into rivers, and bull sharks appeared in the flooded waters. In just 24 hours, Brisbane received 275 millimeters of rainfall, making it the wettest day in the last 50 years. In some areas along the eastern coastline of the country, the total amount of rainfall over 5 days exceeded 1,000 millimeters, leading to sudden and devastating flooding. Gusts of destructive winds, reaching speeds of 100 kilometers per hour, uprooted trees and ripped off building roofs. In Queensland, as a result of the storm, 330,000 homes and businesses were left without power. This natural disaster caused the largest power outage in the region's history. Tragedy could not be avoided. In the town of Dorrigo, New South Wales, a strong current swept away a person. Ecuador. It has been less than 4 months since Ecuador endured a severe drought, and today the situation has drastically changed. Unrelenting and powerful rains have triggered floods, landslides, and ground subsidence. In March, the western provinces of the country were especially hard hit by the wrath of nature. There was flooding of 22 rivers, and the water levels in 25 bodies of water rose rapidly. A red level of danger was declared in 6 provinces. On March 8th, in the city of Portoviejo, located in the province of Manabí, extreme rainfall was observed for 1 hour. In some areas, the water level reached the height of an adult's neck. On March 10th, heavy rains caused destruction in the province of Loja, located in southern Ecuador. The Malacatos River, which flows through the city, overflowed. Water torrents swept people down the streets and destroyed the bridge located in Simón Bolívar Park. Since the beginning of February this year, heavy rains have damaged 16 bridges, over 23,000 residential homes, destroyed thousands of hectares of agricultural land with crops, and caused the deaths of around 50,000 animals. Unfortunately, at least 18 people have lost their lives in the natural disaster, and the total number of those affected has surpassed 83,000. Argentina. On March 7th, the central provinces of Argentina were hit by severe weather, including heavy, at times extreme rainfall, as well as powerful storms with strong winds and hail. The most significant damage was recorded in the port city of Bahía Blanca, where in just a few hours, the amount of precipitation that fell was equivalent to approximately 5 months' worth of rainfall. This set a new daily record, which was twice as high as the previous maximum set 50 years ago. The streets and entire neighborhoods of the city turned into raging torrents, with water levels exceeding 1 meter. The powerful flows of water forced people to seek refuge on the roofs of houses and even in trees. The authorities decided to disconnect part of the power supply to minimize the risk of electrical shock. Public transport services were suspended, and offices and government institutions were closed. Due to the accumulation of water on the runway, the airport ceased operations. Residents of the city were shocked by the rapid rise of water, which flooded their homes. Many lost furniture, appliances, and personal belongings. Shop owners suffered significant losses as the disaster destroyed their stores and stock of goods. The José Piña Regional Intensive Care Hospital suffered significant damage. The garage was flooded, and the ambulances were submerged. Water entered critical departments, including neonatology, requiring the evacuation of newborns. Nurses carried infants, connected to machines, in their arms to safe locations. The devastating storm resulted in the deaths of at least 16 people, with dozens still missing. More than 1,400 residents were evacuated from the affected areas. People experienced fear and helplessness in the face of the disaster, and the scale of the destruction is such that the timeline for the city's recovery remains uncertain. It is worth noting that this is the second major climate catastrophe to strike the city of Bahía Blanca in the past 15 months. Spain. Another powerful tornado struck the Spanish city of La Algaba in the province of Seville on March 8th, causing great alarm among local residents. People who had never encountered such an event before mistook the roar of the storm for the sound of a plane crash. The winds tore off roofs, damaged buildings, and downed power lines. The industrial zone was particularly hard hit. The preliminary damage assessment for one of the companies exceeds 200,000 euros. Kazakhstan. On the evening of March 7th, residents of Almaty witnessed a rare natural phenomenon, snowfall accompanied by thunder and lightning. According to eyewitnesses, they saw such an event for the first time in their lives, and some even mistook the thunder for signs of an impending earthquake. Temperature anomalies. In early March, Europe faced an unusual heat wave, with temperatures more typical of May. In some countries, deviations from the norm exceeded 12 degrees Celsius. In Croatia, on March 6th, the temperature reached plus 20 degrees Celsius. In Lithuania, a new national daily record was set, plus 18.4 degrees Celsius. In early March, Latvia experienced unusually warm weather, setting new temperature records. For 5 consecutive days, air temperatures reached values that had never been observed at this time of year. In Belarus, all 48 meteorological stations across the country recorded temperatures exceeding the absolute maxima for early March. Ukraine also found itself at the center of the heat wave. The temperature in the city of Ivano-Frankivsk almost reached the maximum values of July and August, the hottest months of the year. Belgium broke the 1892 record, recording a temperature of plus 19.1 degrees Celsius. Due to the abnormally warm weather, a large wildfire broke out on the heathlands in Greater Manchester County, United Kingdom. Turbulence. On March 8th, an incident occurred in the sky involving Turkish Airlines flight Dubai, Istanbul. Some passengers reported that during the flight, the aircraft entered a zone of severe turbulence, which felt like a sudden free fall. The increase in turbulence frequency, abnormal behavior of storms and tropical cyclones, prolonged droughts, extreme rainfall, shifting wind patterns, and sudden temperature deviations. All these are consequences of the imbalance in the ocean atmosphere system caused by the unprecedented warming of the world's oceans. If no action is taken, we will soon face new, even more anomalous climatic events, surpassing the boundaries of previous norms. To solve this global issue, it is essential to unite the efforts of the scientific community, political leaders, businesses, and undoubtedly, the public. Through collective actions and resources, we can develop and implement comprehensive solutions. However, it is crucial to understand that we must act together as one humanity,